Good afternoon and welcome to today's edition of NWCR's Removing That Liberal Blindfold for this, the 16th day of June in the year of our Lord 2021. The true President of the United States, Trump, is going to be visiting the border, something our so-called President, who cheated his way into the White House, has not done. And the Vice President, who Biden put in charge of the border, has been everywhere but the border. From the Blaze comes this report, headlined, Trump to visit southern borders slams Biden and Harris for refusing to tour the wreckage they created. Former President Donald Trump announced Tuesday that he will soon make a trip to the southern border at the invitation of Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who took the opportunity to lambaste Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for refusing to even make a trip to the area despite the ongoing migrant crisis he called the wreckage they created. What are the details? Trump said in a statement that he will join Abbott on June 30th for, quote, an official visit to our nation's decimated southern border. The Biden administration inherited from me the strongest, safest, and most secure border in U.S. history, and in mere weeks they turned it into the single worst border crisis disaster in U.S. history, unquote. Then he continued, we went from detain and remove to catch and release. We went from having border security that was the envy of the world to a lawless border that is now pitied around the world. Biden and Harris have handed control of our border over to cartels, criminals and coyotes, drug dealers, MS-13 gang members, human smugglers, sex traffickers, and the criminal elements of the world now have the free rein. Hospitals and schools are getting crushed, and public health is being sacrificed, all in the service of a radical left anti-borders agenda. Our brave border agents and the courageous ICE officers have been illegally stopped from doing their jobs. Our nation is now one giant sanctuary city where even dangerous criminals are being cut loose and set free inside the U.S. interior on a daily basis, unquote. The former president added, quote, if this weren't bad enough, Biden and Harris won't even tour the scenes of wreckage they created or come down and visit with the Border Patrol and ICE heroes risking their lives to defend our nation at a time when the White House is doing everything it can to make their job totally impossible, unquote. Earlier in the day, Abbott tweeted that Texas will finish what President Trump started, touting his forthcoming plan to build a border wall in the absence of the Biden administration's assistance as illegal immigrants continue to pour into the U.S. via Mexico at record rates. The Daily Mail noted that according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection data released last week, the number of migrants rocketed by more than six-fold from the 23,237 who crossed Mexico into the United States in May of 2020. The outlet added that the data also showed illegal crossings have exploded by a 674% in a year, with 180,034 recorded in May, the fourth consecutive monthly rise. Meanwhile, Fox News reports that Harris, who was designated by Biden to address the root causes of the migrant surge, has gone 83 days without visiting the border since being tapped as the person on the crisis. Now, removing the liberal blindfold. It doesn't matter what the facts are to the Demoral-rats. They think they are right and everyone else is wrong. Trouble with that thinking is Trump was right and continues to be. From Acts 13, verse 41, to those who repel the Lord, look, you scoffers, wonder and perish, for I am going to do something in your days that you would never believe, even if someone told you. That verse jumped out at me because it is describing the Democrats to a T. They scoff and never believe that they are on the wrong side of God's laws. They believe that they are God and that we all must follow what they say, and if we don't, then we will get fined or thrown in jail or penalized in some way. Biden has been that way since the day he stepped into office the first time 48 years ago. Tyrants, all of them. Lujan Grisham here in New Mexico has decided, now that all the counties in the state have reached the pinnacle of what she said we must to open up, she is going to keep us continually locked down now. Till when, you ask? I say she will open up the state no sooner than the 4th of July. Then she, like all other liberals, can brag that they got us open so we can celebrate our national holidays as Americans. The problem is, like all other liberals all over this nation, this whole nation should have been opened up about a year ago. But that would be giving up control, don't you know? Now I know there are some of you out there who are saying, aren't they giving up control by opening on the 4th of July? Actually, no. They have a new virus in the works. When the time comes for them to implement it, they will lock this nation down again. Grisham will lock down New Mexico again. Do not think that I do not know what I am talking about. I have been watching politicians now, especially them on the left, for 40 plus years, and they are very predictable in what they do. The only one that wasn't was Trump, because he was a businessman, not a politician, something this nation needs much more of. The great thing about New Mexico is we now have a true constitutional Republican running for governor, and this person means business. It's time for a change, and that change has to be good for America and New Mexico. I will talk of this constitutional Republican on my next update and on my show on Friday. Thank you again for listening to us here at NWCR, where we strive hard to find the truth hidden by the lamestream lying liberal media. And as I will always say, we will not be ruled. We are heard through Conservative Nation Media, or CNN, from behind the silver microphone of freedom with that voice of reason in this increasingly unreasonable world, where America always wins. Please subscribe to my Rumble account under the name of NWCR's Removing the Liberal Blindfold, and also my BitChute account with the same name. And now I have an account at Brighteon, which is the new replacement for YouTube with the name Removing the Liberal Blindfold. Subscribe, because I am now being shadow banned on Facebook and YouTube. See you all tomorrow for my next update, and God bless you all.